So Zhang will open proceedings here, trying to keep his team alive, looking for a spot in the semi-finals.
His game is big enough, isn't it? I think generally. I mean, maybe not as heavy as the biggest hitters, but it's heavy enough. He serves well. If he gets a high percentage of first serves, he's dangerous. He's a great athlete. He served well in his first match, by the way, just like that. And he's tough to break, so that's always dangerous for a player. Good opener.
Team China.
So Zhang holds the love.
Yeah.
I might play around. I'll give it a couple. Yeah.
One thing we won't have to do much of here is talk during the sit down, because Taylor Fritz is very chatty, great analyst of his own game. So what does Win Predictor say? When you're the world number 4 coming up against the world number 45, probably the expected percentages. I'm not sure Win Predictor Fitzy gives much credit to previous results, particularly when the head-to-head they haven't met that many times. Doesn't seem to worry too much about it. Straight off the rankings. I'm sure there's a lot more that goes into the blender when Win Predictor comes up with its result.
It's amazing how many times, though, I feel a little bit, not shocked when I see the Win Predictor, but it makes me really think, because I don't give it a lot of thought before I see it as to who might win and what percentage it is. Sometimes it just seems dramatic, though, to me. 87 in a 2-horse race, 87%, that's quite, well, it's shocking in itself, isn't it?
Surprising, eyebrow raising. I'm not sure I'm shocked.
It might be right.
Alert, but not alarmed.
Would he win 8 or 9 times out of 10?
Probably. Except that he's 0-1.
You want deep down to do stand-up, don't you?
Well, I'm much better on the fly, to be honest, than I am if I had to do an actual routine.
Well, this serve is something special.
The servers are having a good time early here. Here's Zhang's first serve placement in the first match.
He likes the middle, doesn't he? I mean, you can understand why. The net is lower in the middle, so he feels like there's more percentage chance of making that first serve down the middle on both sides, but he likes the wide one to this court as well. So if you're the opposition and you see that direction on the first serve, most of his aces are down the middle to the first court. So when the big moment arrives, if you've studied those stats, you can start leaning a little bit that way.
Long 30.
Got to be quicker than that on the feet, though. Good depth on the return. Gee, it's all about footwork, getting into position for these ground strokes. And if you don't do it, you can get into a hole quickly. And a break of serve between these two gentlemen is important. Old Faithful.
15-13.
Love 30 and 30 all, two pretty big points. Where does he go? Of this ilk use that off forehand to come in with it. Adds such a dimension to their game and makes them a more frightening opposition.
Advantage in time.
See Fritz now thinking to himself, well, that's 3, and I've got to probably close that door a fraction. Was his immediate reaction then. That's well done to hold there. Wasn't easy. Was under duress early. So 2-1, Team China.
Team China leads 2-1.
We are in the city of Perth, and as we head over Kings Park, which is perched high above the Swan River. War Memorial there, and Cafe Conservation Area, Botanic Gardens, Cottesloe Beach. All of these places were packed last night for New Year's Eve celebrations. First time, actually, they've had the fireworks on the Swan River at midnight. Fireworks for the kids at 8:30, and it was a very enjoyable evening, John Fitzgerald, everyone.
The Kings Park is it's a huge area, isn't it? And one of the original grass court tennis clubs at Royal Kings Park. Davis Cup matches have been played there in the past. Beautiful grass courts.
Coach's box making the most of the statistics. Interesting to see if the Team USA haven't had a close inspection. I've been looking at Michael Russell down courtside to see that screen device just on the right-hand side of our screen in front of him, but that service position will be of significant interest, I would have thought.
15 love.
Easy power.
Fitzy, I was having a look at the stats from the Grand Slams last year, and players that made it to the fourth round or better, effectively the second week. In the women's, it was just Coco Gauff. She was the only player that made it through to the fourth round. In the men's, Taylor Fritz, Yannick Sinner, Alex de Minaur, Medvedev, Zverev.
Of every major.
Yeah. So there's 5 men that made it all the way.
Well, that's rare, isn't it?
All the way to the fourth round.
Mm-hmm. But that spells consistency.
In fact, no one made it all the way to the quarterfinals. So each of those, at least one of the Grand Slams lost in the, got it through to the fourth round but didn't make the quarterfinal.
Gee, it's a great sign of a very, very high quality player though, because you know you do it on clay, you do it on grass, and you do it on hard court.
And stay uninjured. Sabalenka would have been in that situation, got injured and missed Wimbledon as Fritz holds serve. 2-all.
Well, Taylor Fritz plays a lot. He really does. Yeah.
Let's join Mark Philippoussis, who's in the Team USA box.
Guys, here I'm here with Robert. It's a good start from Team USA. Coco going up 1-love, and Fritz has got a tough one ahead of him, but he seems to be doing well.
Yeah, he started really well. He's came out serving well, which is a big key for him. He's one of the best servers in the world, so when he gets that going, gives him confidence in other parts of his game. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a battle. 2 big guys serving big, so yeah.
Yeah, like you said, it's 2 heavyweights out here, and a lot of the momentum's got to do with the first serve, and that's definitely going to be a thing. But with watching Fritz and him training and that, what does he bring to the team, bring to the game? Obviously, besides the tennis, but what's he like off the court?
Yeah, it's been great getting to know him, off the court this week, and yeah, we've been going to escape rooms and hanging out together, and he's a thoughtful guy, and it's been cool getting to know him a little bit more.
Well, it's never easy when you guys are #1 seeds, the ones to beat, but you've always got a really good energy in the box, the way you're supporting each other, and no matter who's playing. So it's a fantastic thing to see, and that's a very natural thing for you guys, right?
Yeah, I think just spending time together off the court and doing these events in the afternoon and the evening and just being around for each other has helped us a lot, and hopefully it can give us some momentum going into the next, if we can get through today and the next few rounds. Yeah.
I really appreciate your time, man. Thank you, and good luck.
Robert Galloway there with Mark Philippoussis. You'd be having a pretty good time, wouldn't you, when you get to hang out with Coco Gauff and Taylor Fritz for the week in the escape room and other things, off court, on court, breakfast, and just being around that team. Great experience for all the members of each of the nations.
Fifteen, 14.
He raises his level, Fitzy, when there's a break point when he's under attack, and you can see what he's
13,
absolutely
14.
capable of. It's a good skill to have, to be aggressive when you need it.
Yeah, well, he's a talent. Look, full stop, he's a talent. He's big, strong, quick, has control over virtually all of his shots, like anyone, has the odd weakness, but gee, he's a good player.
Again, wide to the ad court, which is his go-to.
Yes.
Saves the 2 break points.
good preparation there. It's what footwork will do. Has you prepared early, gives you a higher chance of making a good shot. Oh, big. Good move from Fritz there. Backed away to give himself some room. And timed it beautifully because Zhang was sort of halfway into his motion and would have had his eyes on the ball rather than what Fritz intended. Got back to his left, crushes a forehand. Early. Just decided to roll the dice there.
Advantage Team China. Team China.
So save the 3 break points. Zhang holds in the end to lead 3-2.
Team China leads 3 games to 2.
One word for brother said. One word for brother said. Original, any phrase on it.
Team USA winning the opening women's singles. Coco Gauff, straight sets, 7-6, 6-2 over Zhang Shui. Came in for Zhao Yu, who's just had a little niggle in her leg, which she had some issues with in her opening singles match with Beatrice Haddad-Meyer, and managed to shake it off for the next one, but wasn't able to take the court today. And after that, Team USA looking for a spot in the semi-final by clinching this singles. Zhizhen seeking to keep Team China's hopes alive and send it to the mixed. On serve, opening set.
Love 15.
Yeah, David, you touched on it earlier how Fritz likes to chat a little bit, and my goodness, was he chatty in that last game. He full-on conversations between points with his coach, Mike. It was just very interesting to listen to him. But that last service game, my goodness, I mean, he did nothing wrong on those 2 break points down. Big serve out wide and some incredible hitting on that 30-40. There's just some big hitting here. It's a great angle to watch a match from. Change of pace, direction.
Well, he's sprayed a few forehands, hasn't he, of late here? And he was doing that a bit last year, I felt, in this competition. The United Cup here in Perth, and when he misses it, he can miss it long by 1 metre or 2, which is a long way for these players. I think generally this year it's been better though, but a little bit erratic in that game from Zhang.
3 games all.
Here's the return of serve hit points so far for Taylor Fritz.
He certainly wants to step up and attack on the second ball, and why not? Why not? His ground strokes are so good, and as we saw a couple of games ago, he stepped away, 2 games ago, he stepped away on a second serve and took the forehand. So he started up on the baseline, went back and to the left and crushed a forehand. So he's got some options.
Long 15.
So if you're going to go in, you need to be either in a bit faster or take the ball earlier. He got caught in no man's land there, Zhang.
Long 13.
Tell you what, that forehand of Fritz is one of the best shots on the tour, but the one that's above the shoulder height, the way he hits it with that grip that he has and that rest is just so much racket head speed.
15, 30.
I think Taylor Fritz was leaning to the middle then, looking for his favourite serve, so Zhang burns him wide. Oh, what a second ball. He's going to have to take some risks. And it's just whether they pay off at the right time. Clutch second serve there. Well, that's what he did at 30 or 2 games ago. This time the serve fades a bit more and helps him into the forehand, but gee, if he gets a swing at this and he's up near the baseline, that ball's going to be back to the other end very quickly. Didn't do enough of the lob, did he?
Use.
What a pickup that was in that first volley, Fitzy. That was not an easy volley, this one right here, and he got some good depth on it.
He's got some versatility, hasn't he? I'm sure he can get better, Zhang, and be a force. A little mishit helps. Not off the middle, but effective.
Advantage Team China.
You know that, Fitz, you spoke about a couple of things that, you know, he can just tweak a little bit for that top 10. And I think it's one of them as far as what shots to play and what, you know, when. He's got all the tools, but, you know, to be flat and big at all stages, a little bit more spin sometimes and step in to hit it. Just all the hard work has just been lost after an unforced error like that, working so hard to save break point. Pressure's back on again.
You know, there's that forehand again. It's worrying me a little bit tonight, more than the other matches he's played here. Yeah, Mark, you're talking about choosing the right shot to hit and not over-risking when the reward's not there, I think. You know, just play with some safety until you get the ball to risk on, I think. But that was just a big miss hit, that one. Trouble.
Relentless pressure from Taylor Fritz. Finally, the wall breaks. Fritz gets the break. 4-3.
Team USA leads 4 games to 3. Watch and please.
Five break points and finally secures one.
Zhang asked for something there. I'm not sure whether it was a physio.
Did notice, I think, high on one of his thighs, underneath the shorts, there's some strapping. Or is that just the tights underneath the shorts there? Not sure. Actually, on...
Yeah, they're just tights.
Yeah.
I was trying not to look at it.
No, well, I just saw the little glimpse of the white and I thought it might have been some strapping, but it's just the tights. I wear them so things don't fall out, whereas most of these players wear them to keep them in. Like, you know, stomach normally. So break of serve. Team USA looking for a spot in the semi-finals where they'll go to Sydney. Teams wrap up here in Perth tonight. Team Kazakhstan already on their way. They know that they're through. The opponents yet to be determined. Poland are through to the quarterfinals by English Fiontek. So are Italy. Great Britain and Australia currently in operation in the mixed doubles to decide who wins that group, who tops the pool.
50 love.
Bit to work out there. Variety of the Fritz serve is something to keep an eye on as well. He's got that easy power, but when he needs to, he serves up something a little different just to confuse his opponent.
He often starts with the off-speed wide one to the first court to open a game. Yeah, and yes, we know he's got the power. He can go to any angle, especially with that trajectory of his, but he seems to love the wide one here. So he's been there twice now. Where will this go? You'd think either body or middle. Well, he missed it, but that backhand of Zhang's is pretty darn solid, isn't it? What a world-class shot it is. I mean, he just faded that one wide. If I was Taylor Fritz, I'd be, after seeing what I've seen early in this set, I'd be going more to the forehand wing of Zhang. Gee, he hit that well. He was unlucky not to make it.
His capacity to hit winners from the back of the court as well.
Yeah, that takes power, doesn't it, David? I mean, you know, he didn't receive a lot of power from his opponent. Then he generated the majority of it from his own racket head speed. And that is a strong man to generate that. And it looks so easy.
Well, what a versatile game that was from Fritz. Consolidates the break. And all of a sudden he's on the verge of taking this opening set.
Leads 5 games to 3.
It's nice tennis to watch. There's no doubt about that. That winner into the corner from the back of the court. Then the second of the slice serves. Zhang now has to hold here for sure.
As soon as you see your opposition take that second hand off the racket there, you can attack easier.
59.
Or it's less likely they're going to hurt you with their reply when they get that. When you're playing against a two-hander, they take out to the backhand, they take one hand off the racket. A good time to approach. I think that's the difference this set, really, is the error count on his forehand wing. I mean, there's a lot. There's 16 in total. But I would dare say the majority of Zhang's errors have been from that forehand side.
Fitzy, a couple of them that I thought I saw him miss. I want to say that his feet weren't completely there. He was reaching a little bit. Sometimes it happens, you know, to get a miss hit.
Well, the question I had as we see a set point come up here quickly is, Mark, is that he faded in his match the other night under not such, you know, bad conditions. And I just wonder about his full fitness, because he looks a bit sluggish at times. I agree with you. He's not into position quite enough.
That's why I said, you know, his options as far as in the ball, because he will work so incredibly hard, all of a sudden, you know, fight some break points, then have a game point, and then just give up an easy, unforced error. And against a player like Fritz, you can't afford to let those opportunities grow.
Advantage, Team USA.
Down the middle. It's where he likes to go more than anywhere, on both sides. He's getting rushed there too, Mark, isn't he? That ball's coming back at a rate of knots off the second serve, and he's not into position.
Yeah, Taylor is pretty much right behind the baseline there and just turning his shoulders. And like you said, he's really hitting this one. Not an opportunity to recover from the serve, let alone hit the next one.
Yes.
Save 3 set points here. He'll have a big one, big serve right now. Or second serve, that'll work just as well. So saves us at 3 set points. Fitz now will come out and serve this opening set. Team USA lead 5-4.
5 games to 4.
It's all good. It's so hard to hold third. No, I know. It's good. It's good.
So Taylor Fritz has got the lead here 5-4, courtesy of a break in the 7th game. He's had numerous opportunities, break points, 8 in total. 3 set points in the previous service game from Zhang. So he's been very solid on serve so far. Looking to close it out here and take the opening set.
That he started thinking, I'm going to go around the net post here.
30.
Well, to be fair, I guess I'm not sure. But that's what it looked like. He just hesitates here, David. He hesitates. I think he was trying.
Yeah.
It was entering his mind, but he didn't have enough angle, as it turned out.
Yeah, he could see the tram lines and
could see the spectacular finish.
Yeah, he remembered he was playing singles, not doubles.
It's too short. Too short. That's like shelling peas for this man.
40 love.
And another commanding service game for Taylor Fritz. He takes the opening set here, 6-4. 39 minutes.
Don't you bag your hometown now, mate.
Listen, Fitz, it's already one of the best cities in the world. Could you imagine if we had great weather too? It'd be too much.
Well, let's hope we have good weather for the next 3 weeks in Melbourne.
Well, he might be a big, lanky athlete, but he's got some skill on those hands too, has Taylor Fritz. Not a one-trick pony. That's good control.
Just leans off, doesn't he? And then it's hard to get the racket back on the right trajectory.
Well, I think, you know, if you've got a suspicious side, that's the one that breaks down first. And I think, you know, if you are just that half a step or quarter of a step slow or sluggish, which I'm not sure he is, but he's not into position every single time here. If you're out of position, I think that weaker side might break down a bit quicker. I think he gets it this time. Just over.
Oh, line judge Mark Philippoussis was right on the spot there.
Yep, out boys, but what a point. I mean, again, an unbelievable pickup. Look at this. I thought this was in, to be honest, when you first hit it.
Fritz was impressed with himself there.
Well, his body language suggested that he thought he might have overhit it. He was nervous, I think. It's a big ball, isn't it?
He's played two absolute screamers, and one's on the line and one's been out by millimetres. One's the lob.
Well, he's suggesting it touched the net, as it should have been a let called, and the machine technology didn't detect it. There's enough variety there for a top-end player, isn't there?
Yes.
Very rarely you'll find a player of this ilk and this ranking not have some variety to go to.
Zhang's doing a great job in mixing up the serve. You know, I know that the one down the middle is his go-to serve, but he's doing a good job mixing up out wide, and Fritz now guessing sometimes, but he's got some nice rhythm going.
Well, once again, he defends well. Zhang, great point opportunities galore for Taylor Fritz, but Team China taking opening game in the second set.
Kick wide the whole match. I was letting him go there. He drew over, turned the base on him, and then him to go back there again. I played a good game, and the last that you scored was so spot with the I know. He made a lot of firsts.
I wonder if Fritz will employ the wide swinger once again. It's been such a successful serve for him so far in this match. Zhang, I think, has forgotten that it's not a sit down, and it's a Just a change of ends for the opening game.
Well, that's a little indication of his concentration, though.
Yeah.
You know, is he fully into this or not? I'm not 100% sure.
And surely the chair,
mate, a tennis
just to
player,
remind him.
it's rare that a tennis player would make that mistake. It happens, but
There we go. He did go for it. It was unusual, that's for sure.
that's sort of a subconscious thing. You're aware of that stuff.
Love. Love. Love.
What a versatile forehand he has. You know, the beauty of it is multi-layered, because he can crush it, he can hit it either direction, he can hit it with less speed when he wants to, more low to high to create more spin, takes a bit of forward speed off it. And depending on where he goes in the court, he needs more spin at times, and that was one of those occasions.
And there was a good representation of that wide serve that ends up 2.1 metres wide of the tram line. You've got to be absolutely on that side if you want to have a play on that.
Well, I think for a player of this size, defence is not going to be your main forte. And it isn't with Taylor, but he still hustles and wins his fair share of points by getting some difficult balls back. So, not his biggest strength, the defence, but he's still good at it. So because of that, easier said than done. But if you can put him on the back foot and make him do a bit more defending than normal, that's a better place to be than letting him dictate with those weapons he's got, because that's when he'll really be dangerous.
Better service game though. No break opportunities for Fritz that time. So Team China 2-1, second set.
Team China leads 2-1.
Show that, right?
Arms up. Not sharp, man. Slowly. Another every single shot. Yes.
Trainer out for an assessment of Zhizhen Zhang, and it's the shoulder, the right shoulder, that's causing him a little concern.
I think he was saying it's mainly on the serve when he's extending with his arm going up. He showed the motion of the serve, so no sharp pains, he said, but he's feeling something.
So I think we're actually in the injury timeout now. So the assessment's been done and the clock is now running on the injury timeout for Zhizhen Zhang.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Zhang is now receiving medical time.
So he, I think, requested this several games ago. He's been feeling it for a while, obviously.
There was a couple of games before the end of the first set, wasn't it, that he had a conversation with Adel in the chair. Maybe didn't think he needed it right then and there, but just put them on standby. I think they're always on standby, they're just out the back, so I don't think they're back at the hotel. Have to wait for an Uber to get to the courts.
I think there's a fair chance that's not the case, Dave. Yes. An Uber from the hotel.
I tell you what, I have learned something new here, and it was happening right in front of Mark Philippoussis courtside, is the spare line judges. I didn't really know. I hadn't given it a second's thought that when the electronic line judging system might have a connection, that there are actual line judges ready to go, and we saw that the other night. They almost got into operation, and we had a change of ball kids at that sit down, and so new ball kids come out, and the new line judges come out as well. So the ones that have been sitting on the sideline, Fitzy, they get up and leave, and a new group come in to sit on the sidelines. That to me seems like a pretty good job, being a reserve line judge at a tennis tournament now, where you get courtside seats.
I think maybe they should use.
There they are. That's my sort of job.
Well, Mark's just behind them. He might get a bit of part-time work there too. He could jump on, call a few lines.
Yeah, there he is. He showed no interest in doing that the other day when almost happened to be called into action. In fact, he broke out into a sweat.
He's looking at himself. He's looking at himself in the monitor there, Flipper.
I should not have skipped leg day. That's all I'm thinking right now.
Anyway, you learn something every time you come to a sporting event, Fitzy, and now that I'm going to be on the lookout for the reserve line judges who only get called in case there's a major issue. Jerry Armstrong in there in the green shirt, the tournament supervisor, ATP Tour, the men's side. Well, he broke out into a minor sweat the other day as well, and that takes a bit to fluster him. He's seen some things.
Oh, he has. I prefer him in purple pants, though, because he was the referee at Wimbledon.
Right.
The green and purple colours of the All England Club. I want him to get some purple pants.
Was he the tournament supervisor when he had to send John McEnroe on his way?
Yes.
They're big calls in a Grand Slam, aren't they? Anyway, we've had the treatment.
I think he was in the chair in those days.
Right.
Jerry, I think. It's the best shot on the court, isn't it? Fritz forehand, it's lethal.
15 love. Very nice.
Can I readjust that opinion? Maybe it's equal best shot on the court.
It reminds me at the moment a little bit like in a Formula One driver, Taylor Fritz, where everyone's got a good car, fast car with a good engine, but the best just seem to, when the moment is required, find that capacity to find an extra gear and just go zip past.
Well, his forehand seems to go into the slipstream, doesn't it?
And then just take over, and there we go. That's an easy service game.
You know, when you look at his forehand, I mean, the preparation is beautiful. It's early, and he can go any direction, change direction very easily. I think a lot to do with that is his footwork. He gets so well around that backhand to get himself in position to go anywhere. Really has really beautiful balance on that forehand side. Never looks like he's rushed. Feet are always in position.
Speed of the forehand. After that traded blows, he finally gets the forehand to increase the speed on, and he goes from A to B very quickly to set up this drop shot. And this is a finish and a half. He's hanging in there, isn't he, Zhang?
Always looked like it was going to be a close call to make it over the net, and then may even spin back. But Zhang holds serve. Still on serve in this second set. Team China 3-2.
Team China leads 3 games to 2.
My foot like stuck into it.
Certainly didn't see any issues with the shoulder there, that's for sure. Fitzy, sadly this is not going to be us tomorrow because you're off to Brisbane, I'm back to Melbourne, and the summer of tennis continues. Otherwise you and I could just jump in our four-wheel drive and head to Esperance. Scoot along the beach. Beautiful scenery.
It takes 8 hours to get there from Perth. Could you last that long in a car with me?
If the playlist was okay.
Okay.
I could. I'm not sure our musical tastes would completely combine. You're a bit of a, Benny Goodman guy from the 30s and 40s, whereas I'm more of a 1980s rocker.
No, I'm an 80s guy.
Like the serves he's getting with, he'll get me with, like if I say something. But that game also, I should have been covering. I should have really far back covered the flat serve because it's a full ball shape. And there's pumped a ton of ball on the court. All good.
Taylor is certainly very upfront with what he believes the strategy should be, isn't he? Like always reconfirming with himself what he should do to win more points.
Yeah, interesting guy to coach in that situation, a bit like the golfer and the caddy, when the player is certain. Takes a strong coach to have it come up with a different plan, but generally they seem to be in agreement. They're a good combination. The other thing that interests me with Taylor Fritz, and I'll be interested in both your views, Mark and John, on this one, that he was a former junior world #1. It was a long time ago. He made his first ATP final in 2016. He didn't make the fourth round of a Grand Slam till 2022. He's 27 now and he's at the peak. That's a long journey. And in tennis, sometimes to go from being a world #1 as a junior and then being at your best now at 27.
Pretty good way to do it, I think. I mean, he's playing his best tennis in his late 20s, and most likely he's a more mature young man now, and to do it all when you're 22, 24 can be difficult to deal with, I would think. And you mentioned he's at his best, but he in his mind, he's still on that upward trajectory. He wants more, I'm sure. He's done all this work to get here, yes, and he's reaped a lot of rewards because of it, but there's more on the end of that rainbow.
Easy service game. 3-all.
He's a bit like Zverev in a way, because Zverev's #2, hasn't won a major, been in a couple of finals. This man's been in one final now, ranked #4. They both want to taste the top of the pinnacle, I'm sure.
And then you've got the youngsters, Alcaraz and Sinner, who shared the Grand Slam wins last year. Mark, what's your view on that, on the career trajectory? And it's a slow burn, but he's now fizzing along.
Yeah, look, the tour is a tough thing. It takes a while sometimes for someone just to find their way. Juniors compared to seniors is finding your game, what to improve on, getting used to the traveling, everything, and it takes a few years sometimes. But he's someone who's, like I said, especially the last few years, has improved year in, year out, and little parts of his game have really come a long way.
So 2 loose shots. See, herein lies the difference in so many ways of a guy ranked 4 and a guy outside of the top 20. The baseline of Fritz is higher, so he doesn't drop to a lower standard as much as Zhang does here, and it's costing him. Now, Taylor's just keeping the ball in. In a top end game like that, they're probably similar. But it's not allowing yourself to drop too low in your worst moments, I think, that even has a bigger impact on a result of a match. There it is again. And when he misses it, he misses that by 2 meters. They're just bad misses. That's the difference here so far in this match.
A little lucky, but it was the reward for all of his hard work. Taylor Fritz gets the break and now leads 4-3. Up a set.
I heard that like so slow pitch.
You know what? You get rewarded.
I hit it like such a pitch.
One word for the starting set.
Coco Golf has returned to the bench. Mixed doubles still to come. Interesting to see whether they continue to play. They seem to like, even if it's a dead rubber. So Taylor Fritz looking to send the USA to Sydney for a quarterfinal. A semi-final, I should say. This is the quarterfinal, and they are close. Coco Gauff taking the opening women's singles. Straight sets over Zheng Shui.
I'm interested to know what Mark thinks downstairs, David, about the intensity level here of Zhang. I mean, he just doesn't seem desperate enough to me, Clipper. What do you think?
I think you're spot on, Fitzy. I mean, the difference is, number one, Taylor knows that he's thinking, look, he can't stick with me. Can he hit winners? He's going to hit some unbelievable shots, absolutely. But if I hang in there, I know I'm going to draw some errors, and I'll get some cheap points, and that's what's been happening. And I think that's just a big difference when you look at someone like this and you see what he's capable of, his game, his size, and you think, why is his ranking where it is right now after seeing some of the points and you know, tennis he can play? But that's the reason why. You know, tennis is such a mental thing all year round. There's no off season. You got to be consistent all year, day in, day out.
Well, he certainly dropped off, particularly with his forehand here. He's got 26 unforced errors now in total for the match, and most of them are the forehand. But what's worried me more about Zhizhen here in Perth is that, and I know he's had potentially an arm issue here. He's certainly feeling something there, but his intensity level in the last 2 matches that I've seen has not been good enough for a guy that is trying to push into the top 10.
I hear what you're saying, Fitzy. Look, I must say, this is the most I've seen him up close in the United Cup. But he is someone who has a laid-back style. So it's
true.
You know, if there was one thing that was clear, is obviously that Sasha match where, you know, that second set, 6-love. I mean, that was something very clear. But like I said, I don't know whether his intensity has dropped or he's just, like I said, it's just very hard to tell.
You think it's his natural way of being?
I think so.
Well, I guess you've got to be yourself, don't you?
And I think, to be fair, Taylor Fritz is having a pretty good night as well. It makes life difficult. 5-3. Take a look at the forehand placement of Taylor Fritz.
Well, he can go anywhere. He can. And, you know, the 29% area there, that's the one he uses to come down to hit the ball off and come into the net to finish with a volley. He hits a couple of clean winners there, but a lot of the winners are inside in, where he hooks it across court with his forehand. But it's so versatile. Gee, he can go anywhere. He's got good enough feel to hit the drop shot as well. We've seen that a few times here tonight.
You know, when you see numbers like that, and you're seeing someone mostly going to the forehand side, yes, Zhang has got a lot of unforced errors, but you know they've got a lot of confidence in their game when they don't care if it's forehand, they'll stay with you. But my gosh, that is a huge weapon.
14 love.
He's got some weapons. If he can just tighten that forehand up a bit, you never know. With him, he's got the potential.
Well, he needed a good service game, and he got one there. So Fritz will serve for
Team
the
USA
match.
leads 5 games to 4.
Quiet for the first time, Taylor. Not much.
Well, I was just thinking, David, if Mike Russell made a comeback, he could employ Taylor as his coach, couldn't he? They work together. They seem like a good team. Most of their opinions seem to align. Not that that's the making. Not that's all, or necessarily the case for a good coach. I think it's healthy to disagree at times, isn't it? When you learn.
Love 15.
Plus the forehand so versatile. He shapes up like Mark talked about to get turns the shoulders, transfers his weight, but you don't quite know which way he's going with that forehand. And the backhand, he might have slightly mishit that one on camera, but that's so solid as well.
15-15.
And Coco Gauff has done her job. Got the opening win. Fritz now a couple of points away from securing this quarterfinal and sending Team USA to Sydney.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commanding performance from Taylor Fritz. Straight sets. And he sends Team USA off to Sydney for the semi-finals of the United Cup. 6-4, 6-4. Dominant.